Well, you mentioned your background in wrestling. You're from California, grew up in California, went to Cal Poly, was a wrestler there. I mean, how did it all start? I mean, real quick, I mean, as I mentioned, you're from a California guy and ended up going to a California school, but how did it all start with your whole career?
Well, I kind of just fell into it, really. I mean, the whole story is kind of funny. One of the guys I wrestled with, Alfie Alcaraz, had started learning some karate from me because I black belt karate when I was in college. We wrestled together in college. I was 18. I was 19. He was 18, I think. And then when he left school, he went back to Vegas and started kickboxing. Became a world champ. He fought in the UFC back in the day too. But I went to go watch his fight. I'm sitting there going to the weigh-ins the day before, and Nick One Kick, who now I didn't know him at the time, but I was the promoter. He was promoting the show. He comes over, "Hey, Chuck, Alfie says you're a pretty tough guy. You want to fight tomorrow night?" I'm like, "Sure, awesome, yeah, all right, I guess I'll do it." And so I go weigh in, and then the commission guy goes, "Hey, so how many fights do you have?" I'm all, I never had a fight. It's my first one. And I looked at Nick and went, "What are you doing?" Like, he was going to put me, I was going to be the main event. Like his guy didn't show up for the main event, so he's going to throw me in. But they didn't let it happen. And Nick went to me, he's like, "Hey, why don't you go home and train, and I'll put you on the next card." And I'm like, because I was kind of bummed out. I wasn't getting a fight so I went home and I just by chance had met John Hackman and became my coach, still my coach today. But, I met John the week before, and I had his card in my pocket, and it said World Champion Kickboxer on it. I'm like, "Hey, perfect. I'll go work out with this guy." So, yeah, and it gets, I don't know how much you know about it, but I wound up going up and training with John one day at his gym. He was just hitting me with everything, everywhere. My leg, I was blocked over my forehead, I think. But it was, I just kept coming and kept fighting. And at 19 minutes, when his buddy was there, I was like, "Hey, man, stop that. That's enough. That's enough." And they go, "Well, let's train, guys. Let's go. This is train." So I trained. It started raining, and I came up on a motorcycle. I went down to John's. It was at John's house, his gym. So went down. I'm gonna get on my bike, and he's like, "Hey, man, are you coming back tomorrow?" Yeah. Remember, this is the second time I met him.
Right.
"You come back tomorrow?" "Yeah." "Here, take my truck keys." Threw me his truck keys, brand new truck. Push a motorcycle in the garage and take it. So I took that home, came back the next day, and trained with him at his house. I probably 6-7 days a week I was at his house for the next, 7 years until we actually both opened gyms.